But while there are some tragic moments, my story is not a tragic one. My story is actually one of tragedy turned into triumph. And then I saw other soldiers missing much more than I was, 2, 3, 4 limbs, or eyesight, traumatic brain injury. So I thought, holy cow, am I lucky? You know, all I lost was one leg. So it really put things in perspective. So it was almost like I had a second chance. I dreamed of the Olympics as a gymnast, and here I was without a leg, but I could still represent my country. I could still go compete on the world's biggest athletic stage. Didn't have to wear a prosthetic leg. I could use my crutches, get in the pool, get a few laps in, and I loved it. I loved the way the water made me feel. I loved swimming. And this guy by the name of John Register, who came to Walter Reed, he put on a presentation about the U.S. Paralympics.
Melissa Stockwell was the first female American soldier to lose a limb in the Iraq War at the age of 24. Due to a roadside bomb blowing up her vehicle, she lost her leg. Although it was a long road to recovery, she persevered and went on to become a successful Paralympian, wife, and mother. Melissa Stockwell was born in Grand Haven, Michigan on January 31st, 1980 to Dave and Marlene Hoffman. Although she was born in Michigan, she grew up in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Melissa says she was born a patriot.
Melissa has an older sister named Amanda. As a child, she dreamed about being an Olympian. Melissa played soccer and swam throughout her childhood before committing everything to gymnastics in high school. In her early teen years, she was coached by Olga Korbut in gymnastics. Melissa graduated from Eden Prairie High School in 1998 and then attended the University of Colorado at Boulder. She joined the ROTC in her sophomore year at college.
Melissa met her future husband, Richard Stockwell, at the University of Colorado at Boulder in the ROTC. In her senior year of college, Melissa was sitting in her ROTC uniform in a classroom with her peers during September 11, 2001. She said witnessing that event changed her life for the good.
She graduated from the University of Colorado at Boulder with a Bachelor of the Arts degree in Communications in 2002. Melissa and Richard got married in 2003. Stockwell was commissioned as an officer in the U.S. Army in May 2002 and began her work as a first lieutenant in 2004.
But on April 13th, 2004, everything changed. Melissa had been serving in Iraq for 3 weeks, and on a routine convoy through central Baghdad, the Humvee she was in was struck by a roadside bomb, causing the vehicle to go out of control, which resulted in the loss of her left leg above the knee.
At first, she didn't realize that she had been injured, but when she tried to exit the vehicle, she looked down and noticed that she was bleeding heavily. A medic, who had been in a vehicle behind hers, ran up, took her out of the vehicle, starting an IV and putting on a tourniquet. She gives credit to this man for saving her life. Later, she woke up in the Baghdad emergency room and was told that she didn't have her leg anymore. She was in shock, but said that she knew she could get through this because she had a strong support system made up of her family and friends.
Also, despite the fact that she had just lost a leg, she was still thankful. Melissa felt like one of the lucky ones when she got to the Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. She had 3 good limbs, an intact mind, her eyesight, and her life. Looking around the hospital, she saw lots of wounded veterans, some of whom were much worse off than her, missing 2, 3, or even 4 limbs. Some even had traumatic brain injuries. She states, "I kind of looked at myself and realized how lucky I was to only have lost 1 leg. I have 3 good limbs, and I kind of made a promise to myself to live my life for those who no longer could." Melissa's husband, Dick, was there for her when she was dealing with the loss of her leg. After lots of hard work and patience, Melissa took her first steps on prosthetic legs 52 days after she lost her real one. She was learning how to deal with her new normal.
While recovering, Melissa was introduced to the idea of becoming a Paralympian in the Paralympics. Melissa said that sports were really important to her recovery. She had already been learning how to swim with her disability, so she began to see the Paralympics as a goal. She began to train and developed a love for the water, stating, "I love the water. It kind of made me feel whole again."
Melissa was on the board of directors for the Wounded Warriors Project starting in 2005. Melissa spent a year at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center for rehabilitation. She was medically retired from the Army in 2005 and received a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. Melissa made it to the 2008 Paralympics in Beijing, China. Although she did not win a medal, she said it was a great honor to represent her country. She loved carrying in the American flag. Looking back, she said it was better than she could have ever imagined. In 2010, Melissa and Dick got divorced. Melissa and Dick were married for almost 8 years, but Melissa stated that they grew apart and wanted different things. Melissa says of the divorce, "If someone were to ask me which was easier, losing a leg or going through a divorce, I'd go back and lose my leg 10 times over."
In 2011, Melissa Stockwell, along with Carrie Sirota and Dan Tunn, started the Dare to Try, a nonprofit organization which encourages and guides athletes with physical disabilities to continue or begin athletics.
Dare to Try trains and develops the athlete's skills in the para-triathlon. Melissa describes her divorce as painful, but she thinks her divorce led her to the man of her dreams, her husband Brian Tolsma.
Melissa Stockwell met Brian through her work as a prosthetist. He was a prosthetist as well. Melissa stopped serving on the board of the Wounded Warriors Project in 2014. On November 25, 2014, Melissa and Brian had a son named Dallas Patrick Tolsma. Since the birth of her son, Melissa's times on triathlons have improved. Melissa married Brian Tolsma in May 2015. In 2016, Melissa made it back to the Paralympics, but this time as a triathlete. It was a USA sweep, with Melissa winning a bronze medal. Melissa and Brian had a daughter, Millie Lynn, born on August 2017. Now Melissa is well on her way to the 2020 Paralympics in Tokyo, Japan, while enjoying every moment of being a mother and wife. Melissa says she does more in her life now with 1 leg than she would have done with 2 legs. She says her life is more fulfilled. Melissa works at Sheck and Cyrus Prosthetics in Chicago as a prosthetist and is a mentor and role model to the other amputees she meets.
Because of Melissa's amazing example, people all over America have learned that there is always hope, they should never give up, and to remain thankful for all that they have been given in life. Instead of seeing her circumstances as treacherous, Stockwell sees her life as a blessing and is thankful for the platform that her situation has given her, despite the challenges she faces. She lives each day in honor of the soldiers that lost their lives and in regards to those who lost more than her during combat. She is not afraid to change and remains optimistic despite her disabilities, encouraging others who are facing seemingly impossible situations to keep hope. Melissa also has a book coming out on July 14, 2020, entitled The Power of Choice, My Journey from Wounded Warrior to World Champion.
And I rise like the day, I rise unafraid, I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I rise up, that we have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up.